Hello, everyone. This is Henrie for Ticket to Life. And by now, if you've listened to some of my podcasts, you probably know when there's no music, it's about a serious podcast. This podcast is very close and dear to my heart. I promise. No, I cannot promise. I will not cry or get emotional because it's about our pets. I don't know how many of you know this, but did you know that dogs and cats can get dementia? Yes, they can. I've been married to my husband for 38 years, and in those 38 years, we have had Tasha and Mindy and Hansel and Toby and Hank, Angus, Molly, Louie, Arthur, Sadie, and Mudbug. And Mudbug is my daughter-in-law's dog, and she comes to visit or stays with us every so often. Arthur is my daughter's pup, and my daughter started teaching, and when she did, she was not home. So Arthur started hanging around our house, and we have joint custody of him, and sometimes she'll take him home. But usually he's really fine with us, and we love having Arthur. Sadie was my son's dog. He found Sadie on a country road, a busy country road out here where we live, and he calls me on the phone and says, "Mom, I found this little puppy and she's on the road." And I said, just don't. No more dogs. And he said, "No, I'm sure I can take care of her." And I'm just like, "No, don't do it." And he says, because there's all sorts of traffic, so he really couldn't talk. Well, guess what? Sadie became part of our family also. Sadie all of these dogs have been strays. Every single one. We have just found them and taken them to our home and fallen in love with them. And there's another podcast regarding cats and dogs. And I said, I'm not really a cat lover, but of course we have cats that come visit our house nightly and we feed them. Boots and Salem are regulars every night. They're not scared of us anymore, but we do make sure that they have food and water. But anyway, so Sadie comes to live with us. So she actually lived with my son, then his hours changed, and he was just not home. If you'll recall, he's a police officer, and so he was not home. And I said, well, yeah. So then we started taking care of Sadie, and so Sadie was with us, and she has been with us, and she, as I keep saying is because we did have to say our goodbyes to her a few weeks ago. She's a sweet little puppy. She was white, and she looked like, they said she was part Chihuahua and part poodle or something. I don't know, but she was just this wiry little pup, not very big, and she was not afraid of anything. They said she probably had a couple of litters of pups, and she was just wandering around, not in the best health that she had. I mean, she wasn't cared for, obviously, and he found her. And this is why it is so important to take care of your animals that you decide to have. Really think about it. Think about how big they're going to be. Think about if you're going to have that time, because it is actually adding a family member to your house when you do get a pet. If you think, oh, I want a German Shepherd, well, know what their personalities are like before you get them. If you want a pit bull, know what they're like. And, people train some animals to be mean. I'm not sure why, but they do. But Sadie has been with us for about seven years. And I had noticed probably a few months ago, this is August, and I noticed maybe in May, she was just acting different. I noticed she was pacing the house, just walking around like in circles. And I thought, well, she just can't sleep. She's getting older. So then the next thing I noticed is she started having accidents in the house, and she never had accidents in the house. And we have a doggy door, and she just couldn't make it up the doggy door. So, of course, we took her, and we're thinking she's getting older. We know she has arthritis. She's got a bad back. Then I did notice more things. She was sleeping more and more, then barking randomly at nothing. Well, this summer, I think if you listen to this podcast, we've had a very hot summer, and it has been, I was always concerned about the heat with her, if she got stuck outside, and she wouldn't know how to get into the house, forget how to come into the house. Well, again, we took her to the vet. The vet says, well, I had looked it up, of course, on Google, and dogs do get dementia. And a lot of people didn't think that. And when I've had friends who have lost parents due to dementia. I'm not comparing people to the dogs, but is it the same basic disease that humans get, that dogs get? And I thought, wow, wait just a minute. This isn't right. I just saw these little symptoms. And so we did take her to the doctor, my son and I, or to the vet. And he said, yeah, it sounds like she has early signs of dementia. And he said, is she eating? Yes, she's eating. Yes, she's, every so often she gets this burst of energy and she's playing around and chasing poor Arthur throughout the house. And Arthur's a bit bigger than she is. But anyway, so, we got her on some special food with omega-3s, and that's, he said, this might help. He said, but she seems, otherwise her internal, everything seems normal, so just watch her. Well, my biggest fear was she would forget to come. How is she going to be in this heat if we leave the house and she goes outside and forgets how to use the doggy door to come in? And the heat would just kill her because our summer was so hot. So I'd always leave water outside. Then I started thinking, well, let's put her in the laundry room with a gate. Well, she was not having any of that. She had a poop party one time and there was poop everywhere. She said, I'll show you. Okay, you're right. So we stopped that. We had pads throughout the house, and sometimes she'd make it, sometimes she wouldn't. We were really building our life around her because we wanted to give her the best care we possibly could. Well, one day, yes, we do have a pool. One day, that was another fear. So when we went out of town, we had someone come watch them. We had put this long webbing thing that they use on construction sites. It's that plastic orange thing, and that helped to keep her away from the pool. But one day we were literally in the house, and my husband's talking to me, and we had the blinds open, and we're talking, and he looks out the window because we always knew to watch her. Watch Sadie when she goes out, because we didn't know if she was going to stay out there too long, forget how to come in. And he looks and he goes, oh my gosh, Sadie. And he runs out the back door and he has to jump in the pool to save her. Our pool is not that big, but we had always trained our dogs during the summer. We'd put them in the pool and show them how to get out. Well, she literally swam the entire pool, and where she fell in was right where she could have gotten out, but she didn't realize it. And it was just, so he saved her, and we watched her and taken care of her. But I don't think a lot of people realize dogs get dementia. I know I didn't. I just saw these signs and started thinking, no, we all get into denial sometimes when a person or a favorite pet or something, again, I'm not comparing people to pets, but pets do become our family. If you are a dog or cat lover or bird lover or snake lover or whatever, they do become part of your family. And it had gotten worse. The doctor said, it could get worse and you'll just know. Never told us that we had to do anything. And it was just a friend of mine, a good friend of mine told me, remember, she is living. She's just there. She's, excuse me. I am so sorry. She's just existing. She's not living. And I thought that's true. That's, and I always seem to be the person that has to make decisions like this. So I talk to my husband and he talks to my son and we decide what we need to do. Not an easy thing for any of us, But I just want people to know how important it is to love your dogs, get them taken care of, get them spayed, neutered, to take care of them. Make sure you want this little pet in your house and that you can take care of them, because it is a lot of work and it can be expensive. So I am going to give you a few of the signs to look for that I saw. And one of them is pacing, literally pacing the house, like pacing, like lost, just going in circles. And then staring at nothing for long periods of time. One time we would always watch her, and we have a camera out and back, and I didn't see her, so go outside, and she literally is just staring at a brick wall. I probably should do that because it would probably help me focus more on life and just not think of anything, but literally just staring at this wall. The accidents were getting better because we were on top of it. We'd have to wake her up and take her out. We would make sure to stay out there with her, barking. She would bark at no reason. I mean, in the middle of the night, she would just start barking. And you can't get mad because you just can't. And sometimes just confused, like, why am I barking? Her appetite luckily did not change, and that was a good thing. She was eating like she should. So the last few days, we did make sure to get her Chick-fil-A. She loved Chick-fil-A, and she had plenty of chicken. She loved chicken. So we made sure to make those last, sounds horrible, few meals what she wanted. But her sleeping did change. Sometimes she would wake up in the middle of the night. And of course, we had her little collar, and I would hear it jingle, jingle, jingle. And it was just, it was just what would wake me up knowing I need to get up. So there I would be, or my husband would be in the middle of the night outside at 3:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning to take her outside. And that was okay because we didn't have an accident to worry about in the morning. And non-responsive when you would call her. And yes, she was older, and maybe she was losing her hearing and her sight. We did know that. And she, you would call her, Sadie, and you could be right in front of her, and she would not even acknowledge you or look your way. It was like she didn't even hear me. And any other behaviors you might see in your dog, I mean, you can Google all sorts of stuff on there about this and find out. But, we love these pets because they do become such a part of your family. They don't judge us. They love us unconditionally, and they're always there for us. And all we have to do is love them, feed them, bathe them, and take good care of them. That's it. That's all. We don't have to send them to college. We don't have to have them pay rent. They're just good for you health-wise, mentally, physically. They're good to have around. So this is a brief little podcast on dementia in dogs. And take care of your animals. If you feel like you cannot find a good home for them, take them to the SPCA or some sort of adoption center. Find one before you just leave them on the side of the road or drive off and dump them in someone's backyard, which I've heard. Just don't do that. Be responsible. You decided to make this your idea to bring a pet into your home. Be responsible. Take those responsibilities seriously. But think about them before you do. Everybody loves a puppy or a kitten. They do. And when people give them for free, we get caught up in it. Well, anyway, so thank you for listening. And here is, that's my little thing on dementia in dogs. It is called Canine Cognitive Dysfunction, CCD, in case you want to look that up on the internet or on Google it, and it'll get more information on dogs and dementia. Take care of yourself and count your blessings and find your blessings, because in our life, our blessings are our pets. We have so many blessings to be thankful for. And thank you for listening. This is Henrie. Until later.